The rain-slicked streets of Brooklyn gleamed under the sodium lamps like veins pulsing with the city's restless heart. And in that instant, as thunder cracked overhead, Alex locked eyes with the one person he'd sworn to erase from his soul. Jamie, standing frozen across the intersection, umbrella forgotten in his hand. 10 years had carved canyons between them. High school hallways echoing with laughter turned to silence. A confession shattered like glass on the night they were supposed to be unbreakable. But here he was, unchanged in the ways that mattered, his curly hair plastered to his forehead, those green eyes wide with the same shock that clawed at Alex's chest. Neither moved, neither spoke. The crosswalk signal beeped insistently, cars honking their impatience. But the world narrowed to that single, electric standoff, where every unspoken word from their past screamed louder than the storm. Alex's heart hammered against his ribs, a frantic Morse code of regret and rage he'd long ago learned to ignore. He'd built a life here in New York, brick by careful brick. A junior editor gig at a midtown publishing house that paid just enough for his shoebox apartment in Williamsburg. A circle of friends who knew him as the wry guy with the quick laugh and the vintage record collection. The one who volunteered at the local LGBTQ center on weekends because it felt like redemption without the mess of personal confession. But Jamie? Jamie had been the mess, the golden boy of their small Ohio town, quarterback with the easy grin, the one who'd pulled Alex into his orbit sophomore year with a shared hatred for algebra and a secret stash of bootleg indie films watched in the dark of his basement. They'd been inseparable, trading mixtapes and dreams under the bleachers, until that humid August night before senior year when Alex, voice trembling like a leaf in the wind, had admitted he was gay and in love with him. Jamie's face had gone blank, then hard, his "I can't do this" hanging in the air like smoke from a dying fire. No hate, no slurs, just a wall slamming down, and Alex fleeing to his beat-up Civic, convinced the rejection was revulsion in disguise. He'd replayed it 1,000 times. The way Jamie's shoulders had hunched, the stutter in his goodbye that might have been apology or relief. Alex had packed for NYU the next week, cutting ties with scissors sharp as grief, unfriending on MySpace before it was even cool, dodging mutual friends' awkward probes at graduation. College blurred into a haze of hookups and poetry slams, each fleeting connection a bandage over the scar Jamie had left. By 28, Alex thought he'd outrun it, dated a string of nice guys who faded like summer fog, always pulling back before vulnerability could bite. Therapy helped name the fear, abandonment wrapped in shame, but it didn't fill the hollow where Jamie's laugh used to echo. And now, here in the deluge of a Friday evening commute, fate, or some cruel cosmic joke, had dredged him up like a ghost from the Hudson. Jamie blinked first, water streaming down his face as he stepped forward, the crowd parting around him like he still carried that quarterback swagger. "Alex." His voice cut through the rain, tentative but warm, laced with that Midwestern lilt Alex had once mimicked to make him snort laugh. Up close, the years showed in fine lines around his eyes, a faint scar on his jaw from who knows what bar fight or bike crash. But his frame was still lean and sure, dressed in a wool coat that screamed corporate climb over their old thrift store tees. He looked good, too good, and Alex hated how it twisted the knife. "Yeah," Alex managed, throat tight, shoving his hands deeper into his jacket pockets to hide the tremble. The light changed again, urging them to move, but his feet rooted to the pavement. Long time. Jamie's umbrella clattered to the ground, forgotten, as he closed the gap, stopping just shy of arm's reach. Rain plastered his shirt to his chest, outlining the tattoo Alex knew was there. A compass rose inked on a dare during spring break, pointing north like it meant something. "God, I thought you'd vanished. What are you doing here?" "In Brooklyn. Living the dream," Alex quipped, the sarcasm a reflex shield. "Editing books about people who actually finish what they start." "You." "Marketing for a tech startup in Manhattan. Moved out last year." Jamie's gaze dropped, then flicked back up, searching. "Alex, about that night." "Don't." The word snapped out sharper than intended, and Alex winced, the old wound throbbing fresh. Pedestrians jostled past, muttering about the weather, but the space between them felt vast, charged. He couldn't do this now, not with the downpour soaking through his sneakers. not with the ghost of 18-year-old heartbreak clawing its way out. It's ancient history, water under the bridge, or whatever. Jamie flinched, but his jaw set in that stubborn way Alex remembered from debate club losses. It's not. To me, it's not. He reached out, fingers brushing Alex's sleeve, light as a question, and the contact sent a jolt straight to Alex's core, equal parts memory and warning. Can we talk? Coffee. Anywhere dry. The rational part of Alex screamed no. Run. Block his number before he could look it up. Preserve the fragile peace of his curated solitude. But the boy who'd once believed in second acts, in the power of a well-timed mixtape to mend fences, whispered yes. Against every instinct, he nodded. There's a diner 2 blocks up. If they haven't flooded out. They fell into step side by side, shoulders not quite touching, the silence between them thicker than the humidity. Alex stole glances, Jamie's profile etched against the neon glow of a bodega sign, the way he shoved wet curls from his forehead with a habit unbroken by time. What had he been doing these years? Dating women in pressed skirts, climbing ladders in boardrooms, burying whatever flicker Alex's confession had ignited? Or had it? The uncertainty gnawed, a familiar ache. The diner was a relic, checkered floors sticky with decades of spills, booths upholstered in cracked red vinyl, the air heavy with grease and percolating coffee. They slid into a corner spot, dripping puddles at their feet, and ordered black coffee without looking at the menu. The waitress, a no-nonsense woman with a name tag reading Doris, eyed them like she could smell the drama and left with a knowing huff. So, Jamie started, cradling his mug like a lifeline, steam curling up to fog his lashes. NYC suits you. You look solid. Alex snorted, tracing the rim of his cup. Says the guy who probably has a view of the Empire State from his high-rise. Me? I'm dodging rats and rent hikes like everyone else. Jamie leaned forward, elbows on the scarred Formica table, his knee brushing Alex's under it. A accident? Intent. The spark was undeniable, and Alex shifted, heat creeping up his neck. It's not like that. I crashed on couches for the first 6 months, same as you probably did. But yeah, it's better now. Stable. He paused, eyes darkening. After you left, things fell apart back home. Mom's divorce hit hard, Dad drank more, and I screwed up football season. Coach benched me for mouthing off. Alex's surprise must have shown, because Jamie gave a wry half-smile. Yeah, the prodigy cracked. Turns out, losing your best friend does that. Best friend. The words landed like a punch, soft but bruising. Alex had been more, in his heart, at least. But hearing it reduced hit different now, laced with the what-ifs of a decade. I didn't think you'd notice. You had the whole town fawning. I noticed everything. Jamie's voice dropped, raw. That night, when you said what you said, I panicked. Not because of you, but me. I wasn't ready to face what it meant, what I felt. I let you think I hated you to make it easier to let you go. The confession hung there, steam from the coffee dissipating like Alex's defenses. He wanted to bolt, to laugh it off as retroactive bullshit, but the earnest tilt of Jamie's head, the way his fingers drummed the table in that nervous rhythm from their study sessions, it rang true. Felt. Alex echoed, voice barely above a whisper. Past tense. Jamie's gaze held steady, green depths pulling Alex under. Hell if I know. But seeing you tonight? It's like the universe hit reset, and I'm not letting it glitch out again without trying. Outside, the rain eased to a patter, streetlights haloing the window in soft amber. Alex's phone buzzed in his pocket. A text from his roommate about grabbing beers. But he ignored it, the diner's hum fading to white noise. This was dangerous territory, the kind where old dreams collided with new scars. But for the first time in years, the hollow felt a little less empty. Trying how? He asked, the question a bridge extended over the chasm. Jamie reached across, palm up on the table, an invitation. Starting with this. Dinner tomorrow? No pressure, just us. Like old times, but honest. Alex hesitated, the rational voice whispering warnings of repeat heartbreak, of prejudices they'd both internalized from small-town whispers and sideways glances. But the pull was stronger, a tide he hadn't felt since that basement, films flickering on the wall. He placed his hand in Jamie's, skin warm and calloused from gym weights or guitar strings. Life lived. Okay, but if you ghost me again, I'll key your Tesla. Jamie laughed, genuine and bright, the sound unlocking something in Alex's chest. Deal. No Teslas yet, but noted. They lingered over refills, stories spilling out in fits and starts. Alex's disastrous first pride parade. Jamie's ill-fated attempt at a straight-laced engagement that fizzled after a year. Laughter bridged the gaps, tentative at first, then freer, the booth a bubble against the world's rush. When they finally stepped out into the cleared night, air crisp with petrichor, Jamie walked him to the subway, their steps sinking like muscle memory. At the platform edge, Jamie turned, hands in pockets mirroring Alex's stance. This doesn't fix everything. I know that. Nothing does, Alex admitted, the train's rumble approaching like a heartbeat. But it's a start. Jamie nodded, stepping closer, the space between them shrinking to breaths. For a heartbeat, Alex thought he might lean in, a kiss to seal the fragile truce, but Jamie just squeezed his shoulder, firm and lingering. Text me your address. I'll pick you up at 7. The train doors hissed open, and Alex boarded, waving as it pulled away, Jamie's figure receding in the fluorescent blur. Alone in the rattling car, he leaned against the pole, replaying the evening like a film reel. Hope flickered, dangerous and bright, but for tonight, it was enough. Back in his apartment, peeling off wet clothes, he scrolled through old photos on his phone, blurry shots from that spring break, arms slung around each other, grins wide as the horizon. He didn't delete them this time. Instead, he typed out a quick message, 7 works. Don't be late. Sent. And just like that, the canyon between them began to narrow, one uncertain step at a time. But as Alex drifted to sleep, the city's hum a lullaby through his fire escape. He couldn't shake the undercurrent, the way Jamie's eyes had shadowed when mentioning his family, the hesitation in his touch that spoke of battles still raging. Old prejudices didn't die easy, not in a world quick to label and slow to forgive. And Alex, for all his therapy breakthroughs, carried his own baggage, the fear that love from the straight world, or whatever Jamie was now, would always come conditional. Tomorrow's dinner loomed, a promise laced with peril, but he'd show up anyway. Because some bridges, once burned, begged to be rebuilt. The next morning dawned crisp, October's bite sharpening the air as Alex navigated the weekend farmer's market in McCarran Park, baskets swinging from his arm, distractions his armor against overthinking. He picked over heirloom tomatoes, chatted with the vendor about late-season basil, anything to drown the loop of Jamie's confession. By noon, his phone lit up with a text, running early. Coffee run on me. Followed by a winking emoji that felt too casual to them from a lifetime ago. Alex's thumbs hovered, then replied, only if it's strong. See you at 6:45. He pocketed the phone, exhaling. Friends first, that's what this was, right? Reclaiming the ease they'd lost, without the weight of what-ifs. His best friend from college, Mia, a fierce lesbian with a knack for calling bullshit, had texted earlier, probing about his mystery mood from last night's vague update. Spill or I'll show up with wine and an intervention, she'd threatened. He smiled, typing back a deflection, just weather drama. Dinner plans, tell you Monday. The afternoon blurred in domestic rhythm. Laundry folded while binging a true crime pod. A quick run along the East River where joggers nodded in solidarity, the water glittering like shattered diamonds under the sun. Back home, he showered, debated outfits, a button-down too try-hard, jeans too sloppy, settling on chinos and a Henley that hugged his frame without screaming effort. Mirror check. Hair tamed, stubble trimmed, the faint freckles across his nose a reminder of summer drives with windows down. He looked put together, like a guy who had his shit sorted, even if inside, nerves jangled like loose change. The buzzer sounded at 6:42, punctual to the point of nerves. Alex hit the intercom. Up here, 3rd floor. Heart thudding. He cracked the door, peeking down the hall as footsteps ascended. Jamie appeared, windswept from the walk, carrying a to-go cup from the corner cafe, steam wisping from the lid. Double espresso, extra shot. Figured you'd need armor. Alex took it, their fingers brushing, deliberate this time, and grinned. Psychic. Come in. It's a war zone, but the couch is mine. The apartment was a testament to curated chaos. Bookshelves sagging under paperbacks and vinyl sleeves, a pride flag draped like art over the window, plants thriving against odds in the south-facing light. Jamie wandered, eyes lingering on a framed photo from Alex's first book launch, him mid-laugh with colleagues, rainbow pin on his lapel. This place screams you. Cozy lived in. Mine's all IKEA regret and takeout boxes. Perks of single life, Alex said lightly, grabbing his keys. Ready? I picked Italian. Hole in the wall on Bedford. Al dente dreams and Chianti that doesn't break the bank. Jamie nodded, holding the door. Lead on. The walk was easy, sidewalks buzzing with couples and dog walkers. Fall leaves crunching underfoot like whispered secrets. They fell into old rhythms, teasing about Alex's hipster beard phase. It wasn't a phase, it was commitment. Jamie recounting a disastrous client pitch involving a spilled latte and a CEO's dry cleaning bill. Laughter flowed, barriers thinning with each block, until the restaurant's twinkle lights beckoned. Inside, it was intimate. Exposed brick walls hung with faded posters of Tuscany, candle flames dancing on white tablecloths, the scent of garlic and rosemary a hug for the senses. They settled into a banquet, menus forgotten as the server poured wine, deep red, velvety on the tongue. To Bridges, Jamie toasted, glass raised, eyes locking with an intensity that made Alex's pulse skip. To Not burning them twice, Alex countered, clink echoing soft. Conversation meandered like the wine. Jamie's move to the city chasing a promotion that felt hollow without roots. Alex's latest manuscript rejection that stung less because it freed him for the next. But undercurrents simmered, glances held a beat too long, knees pressing under the table without retreat. When mains arrived, pasta carbonara for Alex, eggplant parm for Jamie, the talk turned personal, tentative probes into the decade's voids. You ever go back? Alex asked, twirling fettuccine. To Milford? See the old crew. Jamie speared a bite, chewing slow. Once, last Christmas. It's smaller. Dad's sober now, remarried to a nurse who bakes pies like Mom used to. But the stairs? Same as ever. Folks whispering about that queer kid who ran off to the big city. They mean you, obviously. Alex's fork paused, warmth fading to chill. Still, after all this time, prejudice doesn't age graceful. Jamie's tone hardened, then softened. I defended you, loud as I could. Told my uncle to shove his thoughts and prayers when he asked if I'd caught anything from hanging with you back then. But it cost. Lost a job offer from his firm. Worth it, though. The admission landed heavy, Alex's chest tightening with a mix of gratitude and guilt. You didn't have to. I figured you'd blend. Play the straight arrow. Jamie set his glass down, leaning in, voice low. I tried. Dated Sarah for 2 years. Nice girl, accountant, talked marriage. But it was play acting. Every time she kissed me, I saw you. That night in the basement, your voice breaking. It woke something I couldn't bury. The candlelight caught the flush on Jamie's cheeks, vulnerability raw as peeled garlic. Alex swallowed, throat dry despite the wine. Bye then. Or fluid. Jamie said simply, shrugging like it was weather. Labels never stuck. But you? You were the first real one that did. Dessert arrived unbidden. Tiramisu split between them, spoons clinking in shared bites, the sweetness cutting the tension like citrus. Outside, night had deepened, stars pricked faint against the burrow's glow. They strolled back slower, arms brushing now intentional, the air electric with unsaid possibilities. At Alex's door, keys jingling in his palm, he turned. This was good. Really. Jamie stepped closer, hand rising to tuck a stray lock from Alex's forehead, gentle, intimate. It was. Can I? His eyes dropped to Alex's mouth, question hanging. Alex's breath caught, the pull magnetic. He nodded, and Jamie closed the gap, lips meeting soft, hesitant at first, then deepening with years of pent-up ache. It was chaste, no rush, just the press of warmth and the faint taste of espresso, hands framing faces like fragile art. When they parted, foreheads resting, Jamie whispered, I've wanted that since 18. Me too. Alex breathed, the admission a key turning in a long-locked door. But slow. We've got time to get it right. Jamie smiled, thumb tracing Alex's jaw. Slow it is. Breakfast Sunday. My place. Pancakes. No steaks. Deal. Another kiss, lighter, then Jamie descended the stairs, glancing back with a grin that lit the dim hall. Alone, Alex leaned against the door, heart soaring and sinking in equal measure. This was real, rekindled, raw, but shadows loomed. Jamie's family echoes, the town's ghosts. Alex's own trust fractures from past lovers who'd bailed at the first queerphobe relative. Yet as he texted Mia a giddy, "It's happening. Details soon," hope bloomed stubborn, a weed through concrete. Sunday couldn't come fast enough. But fate, ever the trickster, had other plans. Monday morning, as Alex sipped coffee at his desk, inbox pinging with edits, his phone buzzed. Not Jamie, but an unknown number. "Hey, it's Tyler from the center. Quick heads up, Jamie's ex is in town, stirring shit. Watch your back." The message chilled, a crack in the weekend's glow. Tyler, a volunteer buddy with ears everywhere, followed with details. Sarah, Jamie's college fiancée, newly single and reconnecting via mutuals, dropping hints of unresolved feelings at last night's bar hop. Drama already? Alex's stomach knotted, old insecurities whispering poison. He pocketed the phone, focusing on manuscript margins, but the seed of doubt took root. By lunch, Jamie's text arrived. "Missed you at work. Dreamt of tiramisu. Dinner midweek. Innocent, affectionate." Alex replied, thumbs flying. "Absolutely. But heads up, heard from Tyler about Sarah." "Cool." The response was swift. "WTF? She's history. Call later." They talked that evening. Jamie's voice strained over the line from his rooftop deck. City noise, a distant roar. "She's reaching out 'cause she's lonely, post-breakup mess. Told her flat out I'm seeing someone. Didn't name names, but it's you. Only you." Relief washed Alex, but undercurrents tugged. "She know about us before." A pause, heavy. "Bits. I came out to her near the end, by seeing a guy casually. She took it rough, blamed the city changing me. Haven't spoken since." Alex paced his kitchen, linoleum cool under socks. "And your family? They cool with this version of you?" Jamie sighed, wind whistling. "Dad's trying. Asked questions after I told him last month. Mom's silent treatment, but it's progress from denial. Uncle's still a dick, but screw him." The honesty steadied Alex, but the call ended with a yawn. "Love hearing your voice," leaving him staring at the ceiling, cracks spiderwebbing in the plaster like his resolve. Vulnerability was a two-way street, and traffic was heavy. Midweek dinner was Thai, spicy pad cew in a BYOB spot on Smith Street. Bottles clinking as they dissected work woes, and cued Netflix recs. Jamie's foot hooked around Alex's ankle under the table, an anchor in the bustle. Sarah texted again. He admitted over mango sticky rice, apologizing for the drama, saying she just wants closure. "I blocked her." "Good," Alex said, squeezing his hand across the scarred wood. No room for ghosts. But ghosts had a way of haunting. Friday at the center's game night. Trivia and tacos for the youth group. Alex spotted a new face. A woman in her 30s, sharp bob and sharper eyes, nursing a soda at the bar. Tyler sidled up, whispering, "That's her. Sarah. Volunteering now." Alex's grip tightened on his beer. She approached later, smile polished. "You must be Alex. Jamie's mentioned you, in passing." The barb landed subtle, but Alex parried cool. "Nice to meet. He's lucky to have friends like you looking out." Her laugh tinkled false. "Friends? Sure. Just be careful. He has a habit of running when it gets real." She drifted away, but the words festered. That night, tangled in Jamie's sheets for the first time. Not sex, just bodies aligned in exhausted spoon, his breath warm on Alex's neck. Doubt whispered louder. Jamie stirred, murmuring, "You okay? You're tense." "Just thinking." Alex lied, tracing the compass tattoo. "About directions. Where we're headed." "Here," Jamie mumbled, kissing his shoulder. "With you." Saturday brought confrontation. Sarah cornered Jamie at brunch. Alex's idea, a sunny cafe to shake the funk, but she happened by, sliding into their booth uninvited. "Cozy," she purred, eyeing their linked hands. "Didn't peg you for the type, Jameson." Jamie's jaw clenched. "Sarah, not now. But it's always now, isn't it?" Her voice cracked, eyes glassy. "You left me for this? Some city fling." "It's not." Alex started, but Jamie cut in, voice steel. "It's love. Real, messy love. And it's none of your business." She fled in tears, the cafe murmuring. Outside, Jamie pulled Alex into an alley embrace, apologies tumbling. She's hurting, but that's not on us. Alex nodded, but the seed sprouted thorns. What if she's right? Am I the fling? The experiment. Jamie's hands cupped his face, fierce. No, you're the point. The one I should have chosen then. They kissed against brick, desperate, the world fading to heartbeats. But as they walked hand in hand to the park, Alex wondered if love could outrun the chasers, the exes, the families, the inner voices echoing small-town scorn. Weeks blurred into a rhythm. Mornings with Jamie's texts waking Alex like coffee. Evenings tangled on couches debating politics or playlists. Weekends hiking Prospect Park trails hand in hand, leaves crunching underfoot like confetti. Alex's friends warmed to him. Mia grilling over mimosas, declaring him smitten, not stupid, while Jamie's circle, a mix of startup bros and queer allies, folded Alex in with easy grace. Vulnerability crept in. Alex sharing his coming-out fight with a father who still sent holiday cards signed love, dad, and stepmom. Jamie confessing panic attacks after family calls laced with, "When you settling down with a nice girl?" But harmony fractured subtly. Thanksgiving loomed. Jamie's invite to his dad's for turkey and tension. "Come with? Show them you're real." Alex hesitated, fork midway to mouth over takeout lo mein. "Your mom. She okay with me?" "Working on it. But yeah, I want you there." The drive to Milford was 3 hours of podcasts and sing-alongs, tension coiling like the Ohio hills. The house was modest ranch style, porch light welcoming, but inside, air thick with unspoken. Dad, burly, graying, clasped Jamie's shoulder, then Alex's hand firm. "Heard a lot. Glad you're here." Stepmom, Linda, bustled with pies, her smile tight but genuine. "Boys, sit. Wine." Mom arrived late, elegant in cashmere, eyes skimming Alex like a footnote. Dinner passed in minefield chatter, jobs, weather, the Browns' latest loss, until Uncle Ray, ruddy from eggnog, boomed. "So, Jamie, this your roommate? City's full of huh?" Jamie's fork clattered. "Partner, Uncle. Alex is my partner." Silence blanketed, then Mom's voice, "Cool. That's progressive. But family sticks, blood or not." Alex's stomach twisted, prejudices parading as concern. He excused himself to the porch, breath fogging in the chill, stars sharp overhead. Jamie followed, door creaking. "I'm sorry. They're trying, in their way." "Trying looks like tolerance," Alex bit out, hurt sharp. "Not this half-assed side-eye." Jamie pulled him close, coat rough against Alex's sweater. "I know, but I choose you, every time. We'll leave early, make our own traditions." They did, driving back under moonlit highways, hands intertwined over the console. In bed that night, Alex's tears soaked Jamie's shirt, released in quiet sobs. "I want this. Us. But the world's not done testing." Jamie held tighter. "Then we pass. Together." Christmas brought Alex's family turn, his mom's bustling kitchen in Cleveland, stepdad's awkward jokes, siblings teasing over eggnog. Jamie fit like a puzzle piece, charming with stories of city mishaps, but Dad's quiet, "Proud of you, son," over coffee sealed it, eyes misty. He's a keeper. Back in Brooklyn, New Year's Eve glittered, rooftop party with Mia's crew, fireworks bursting over the bridge as Jamie kissed Alex at midnight, world blurring to cheers and confetti. "To us," he toasted later, champagne flutes clinking in their kitchen, string lights twinkling. But January chilled more than weather. Jamie's startup hit crunch, late nights, stress lines etching his face. Alex supported, meals delivered, but distance grew, missed calls, vague texts. Then, a fight, stupid, over forgotten plans, escalated in the hallway, voices echoing off neighbors' doors. "You think I'm the experiment?" Jamie hurled, hurt raw. "After everything?" Alex recoiled, old fears surging. "No, but you're pulling away. Like before." Jamie's face crumpled. "I'm scared. Of messing this up. Of them being right. That I don't deserve you." The dam broke. Confessions in the dim. Bodies collapsing onto the rug. Apologies woven with truths. "I love you." Alex whispered first, the words a leap. Jamie echoed. Fierce. "Love you more." Spring thawed the rifts. Picnics in the park. Pride planning with the center, Jamie coming out fully at work, earning wary nods, and one rainbow pin from HR. But climax brewed in summer heat. Uncle Ray's wedding invite, Milford bound, a gauntlet thrown. "We go," Jamie declared over iced tea on the fire escape, sweat beading on his brow. "Or not. Your call." Alex waited, heart heavy. Together. Show them we're unbreakable. The ceremony was garden affair, white tints and string quartet, relatives milling like bees. Ray clapped Jamie's back, brought the roommate, eh? But Jamie's arm around Alex's waist silenced him, stares turning to murmurs. At the reception, Mom cornered them by the cake, voice honeyed venom. "This face, it's hurting him, you know, dragging him from normal." Jamie stiffened. "Mom, stop. Alex is my future." She laughed brittle. "Future? You're confused, baby. Remember the girls? The life we planned." Alex's blood boiled, but he stepped forward, calm. "With respect, ma'am, love isn't confusion. It's choice. And he chooses me." Her eyes narrowed, then softened fractionally. "Hurt him, and I'll end you." "Fair," Alex said, extending a hand. She took it, brief, then walked away. Later, under stars, Jamie exhaled. "That was brave." "We," Alex corrected, kissing his temple. "Always we." Fall circled back, anniversary marked with basement recreations, indie films on a laptop, popcorn scattered. As credits rolled, Jamie paused the screen, turning serious. "Marry me? Not now, but someday. Rings, vows, the works." Alex's yes was breathless, sealed with a kiss that promised eternities. Misunderstandings mended, prejudices chipped away, their love a testament. Not perfect, but persistent. In the city's endless hum, they built, word by word, touch by touch, a story all their own. The end came not with fanfare, but quiet certainty. A shared lease signed over coffee, futures mapped in late-night whispers, the canyon filled with bridges of their making. And in every glance, every hand held against the world, they whispered the truth neither had voiced that rainy night. "I never hated you. I never could."